sure that we have that coverage for us.
Call to order of the board at Lake Bonanza Property Owners Association. Start time is 10:36 a.m. Present, we have Lori. Look like she's figured out. Linda.
Sure. She's so glad to see you. Yes,
Lynn.
she's there.
Melanie. Amy. Absent is Karen Lau and Tina Hartman. Few introductions. Mr. Courtney is going to handle our website. I don't know, he may want to talk about some of that in a minute. Melanie now is our secretary. Karen was doing it for a little while, she's not here, and didn't turn in our written minutes. But we're calling back. Bear with me just a moment. Yep. Okay. Did you bring the minutes? You didn't think about it? Or?
You have them on your computer. You have a way that you could send them that I can actually.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and start, and we have to get down by that and come back to it.
You know, I left a little plug in there with our hand.
Okay, yes, definitely. Yeah, just send me your email.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, she's calling. Anyways, Mr. Courtney's gonna handle that. This is Jade, our new bookkeeper. Jennifer can't do it anymore. She's been very sick. This is a friend of hers that's going to start handling for us at the same rates Jennifer did, which is amazing. We appreciate that. And she did September and October for us. Jade, this is Lynn Cutsinger. This is Melanie Ackerman. That's her name. Okay. Lori Steiner, Teresa Hewitt, and Glenn. You've met most of them. I think Mr. Courtney's met them all too, right? Okay. All right. So, she says she has the minutes. She will bring them. We'll go on that. So we'll skip past that financial report. Y'all have copies of it in front of you. If there's any questions, maybe I can answer them. We'll go through them real quick. I didn't do a lot of questions this month. I've been busy. Is there any questions about any of that?
Well, on the collections, is there a way that you could maybe provide that out so that you're not having to be responsible for the whole snare too? I mean, just.
Anybody wants to help with collections, you're more than willing to come down here.
Okay.
I do it when I got time.
Okay. All right.
You know, we collected, I think it was probably about 40,000 extra last year and back to
Right.
probably about the same year before,
Right.
maybe a little more, it was 93 again. You know, so it's been over the last several years, I've almost been doing it.
Okay.
So if anybody else wants to help, you can kind of split it up by names.
Like I said, I'm retired, so I've got time to kill, so to speak.
You ever done any collections?
I ran a business for over 15 years.
Anybody know about
Chief deputy for the county and motor vehicle departments of Galveston County.
I know all the rules?
Yeah, I was in charge of millions and millions of dollars. So.
Good deal. You do as much of it as you want, all of it.
We'd be glad to let you in.
Absolutely.
Have a
I've been
nice
there
day.
for a while.
Any information you need, we're getting it.
Absolutely. I did get another tax roll for this year. Going through some of that, making sure everything's right.
You know, the addresses and stuff.
It should be all in there. I'll print you one out and we can also put it on a stick too if you want to take it over.
Okay.
It's sent to our regular email address too, so.
Oh, the one that they sent it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good, because I have a, do you have an updated version of the address or something? Could you bring that?
Should all be there. Yeah.
Okay.
But you gotta watch it because the appraisal district and the tax office have two different deals, and sometimes the appraisal district is the last one to get them.
Okay,
So that's the reason I get the one from the tax office, usually straight from the deeds.
okay, okay,
But I usually check both when I do it.
okay.
The clubhouse and the pool, you know, the kitchen's been used, it's been used in Miss Steiner rented it, for a party, she wanted to rent it again for Thanksgiving. So everything's nice over there. We got a refrigerator, stove, tile, paint,
Bathroom.
everything's done over there. Spent a lot of time on it.
Do you have plans, how's the seating arrangement there? What's it?
I'd like to get us new tables. I try to hit that public surplus website as much as I can because they've got stuff with all the counties, around the counties. And see if they have anything every so often. If so, I try to bid on them, but it's just hit and miss.
What kind of seating do we have available there now?
Just a
It's tables and chairs.
Yeah,
Okay, so whatever we have, so
That's
maybe 30 people,
yeah,
20, 30.
something like that.
Okay, that's still a big group.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
More than I want to.
that's what we cook for every year, maybe.
Laura said we can all come to hers.
Yeah, I don't care.
She said that. She said that.
One more person in that bunch.
10 more people will make it.
Nope.
Make them bring something.
Everybody brings something. You're responsible for the turkey and the ham, and they're responsible for everything else. So, it's not bad.
Just as long as everyone doesn't bring rolls.
No, everybody,
Can you imagine?
everybody gets on a group text and tells us what they're bringing.
Okay.
So, it works. We've been doing it for years.
Sorry to cut you off. On the pool, Teresa has been taking care of the pool and making sure the weeds are out of it and stuff. And general cleanup, the lawnmower and the zero turn, I should say, and the finish cutter for the tractor are back up again. We had to replace one of the rotors on the finish mower and the belts on the zero turn. So we need some more stuff cut in.
I was gonna ask you, on the pool, you know that stuff that we put over the pergolas?
Yeah.
Why can't we get some of that and have it sewed together and make a
We probably
big
could
cover?
probably higher. It probably cost us more. Did you have any luck finding?
Not any luck finding a cover for say for the pool, but Christian and I have acquired a like 40 by 50 tarp. So we're gonna try that today, but we have to acquire like some sandbags or something to put
Well,
around it until
Yeah,
we
there's
can get an
the,
appropriate
if
cover.
you'll notice all the way around the pool, there's little screw heads. And you screw those out and you can actually put the
Little, yeah.
rubber tie things on it, the stretchy things, which there's a whole bucket of them. I don't know if they're still good, they may be rotten.
Dry rubber, probably.
Yeah, there's like a drum, there's like a cardboard drum out there. With a top on it, it's got those in it, and there's also some inner tubes, because you gotta keep it out of the water, because all of us leaves in the water in the center of it. So they put the inner tubes in there first, and then put the tie, and then tie it off to the side.
So we got some entries and we got some balls.
Yeah, if you need some more ties, then I'll order some more ties. So, or the tubes too, if they make it something.
We're gonna have to do something about that concrete, it just worsen.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's probably start in February or March when we normally start doing the pools again. I've got somebody that's gonna come in and give us a bid. They use a foam, like the foam that goes sort of like the foam that goes around the doors and windows that raises the concrete up.
But it's so cracked open.
Yeah, some of them have to be replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think our best bet is they have what they call skim coat or a lime coat stuff where they recoat the whole top of the concrete. You gotta level it first. Then they seal all the cracks. They use some of the cracks as actually make it look like flagstone. You know what I mean? And then they color it. But at that point, by now, we really don't have the money. And
Yeah,
but hopefully, come springtime, we can work on that.
we'll just tell them it's
Yeah, well,
flagstone.
Yeah, we have to. We'll work on getting Francisco to replace it. That'll be the cheapest person who can possibly replace it. It's $150 a day, that's for sure. So we'll hopefully we'll get that taken care of. But they've been treating it with the chemicals and stuff, and our pulse and chemicals. More shots.
Houston, let's get it back to where it is, so I mean, like, right now we're running over, so we've been keeping it
Back
back.
after it drops below 73 degrees, the algae stops growing. So it should be pretty easy, as long as it stays below 73. Okay, here's through. We have, obviously, we went to the attorney. I think we should take everybody getting in here.
Did what?
The update from the attorney.
He just said that he hadn't received anything yet. it usually takes about 4 weeks plus.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah, that's what we're
he's just
waiting on.
waiting, yeah.
We're just waiting on them to get everything, they're not gonna be able to use the airstrip itself anymore, it's not in their lease. It's overgrown right now, they're the ones that were responsible for cutting it. They haven't done that, so that's where that stands for. We're standing at this time, that's actually on the new business too, giving them updates.
What are we doing with the airstrip?
The airstrip, nothing right now, we're evicting, trying to evict the people there.
Okay.
So they haven't paid us in 2 years. They refused to try to pay for what the insurance would cost us. Insurance is going to be expensive. It's not insured right now. We have 3 areas that are insured: the stables, the pasture, the airport, and the golf course. Everything else has liability and coverage as far as the building and stuff. Not there.
How many tenants are there on that airport?
3.
3? And all 3 of them have refused to pay?
They haven't paid. I don't know what they would call it. They haven't paid.
And what length of time have they stopped paying?
2 years now.
So they haven't renewed their lease this week.
Well, the lease they made up when they were on board.
They did.
Well, so the lease is only good for 1 year at a time. I mean, that's the
They
longest
say
they can
that.
read it.
Have you read the lease?
According to our
That's never
bylaws,
renewed?
that's as long as we can.
That's the reason.
Lease is for 1 year, and then they have to renew after a year, and then renew after a year.
There.
Well, it should be.
They made theirs a perpetual lease.
That's what they're calling it.
So basically, they were on the board, designed the lease for themselves, and now we're.
And signed. Mr. Smith signed it.
Okay.
Not the board. The
Does
president.
anybody use the airport?
Nobody's using it right now, so we're gone.
Well, if
Do we
they,
plan on keeping the airport?
I don't know what we're gonna do there, but we're gonna change it to something that we approved a couple years ago to make a storage area. Because we're not supposed to have trailers in the subdivision, RVs in subdivision on your property more than 14 days. So we figured we would rent that as a separate area for RVs, boats, get stuff out of our driveways, around our house and stuff like that for a certain fee.
But we don't know what we're gonna do at this
Right.
point.
Well,
That's a possibility.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Was there something else you want to say?
as far as their lease and all that goes, I mean, have we offered to let them just take over the lease, let them buy their own insurance? I mean, I could see possibly a flight school being opened out there if they were that interested. They could turn over and make a lot of
Well,
money.
our deed restrictions say the amenities are for property owners and their guests only.
Right, well, that's what I'm talking about, is it would be the property owners that would be running it.
And that would be a commercial school then, inside the subdivision.
This is not a problem.
Well, I know that.
Now, what we offered them before was, the 2 main issues were, is we wanted enough money to pay for the insurance.
Right.
So right now, they're paying $300 a year, $50 a month for the small slab, and then $500 a year, 83 whatever it is a month for the big one, 40 by 50.
That's not enough.
Listen, I agree 100%.
That's not enough. They're paying, other owners at the airports are paying thousands of dollars to
Exactly,
keep their planes there.
exactly. And then, so the issue is they didn't want to pay anymore. They didn't want to pay for the insurance, and they wanted a 5-year lease, which I can't sign. Our deed restrictions and bylaws prevent me from doing so.
Exactly.
So, and it,
Yeah.
my attorney, or our attorney's advice, we've had several over the years, cost is high. And, the issues have just been what they are. They think that the lease they wrote up says it's automatically renewed, per leaseor, but see the way they've written it, it makes it really hard. But anyway, we've got a new attorney, he thinks he can take care of it. They're in violation of the lease, so it didn't have to be renewed. So that's what we're going. Horse stables, we haven't gotten any information back that I know. Did you get anything, anybody?
Most of what you're looking for is where they do a boarding stable insurance policy.
Yeah, we're just talking
You
some
know?
liability, some kind of liability.
No, I know, but it's usually when people have a private barn, they get it through their homeowners because it's like they have their own barn on their property. Whereas if you have a big training and boarding stable, that's more of a commercial policy.
Well, she can't find anybody.
Yeah.
She can't find anybody that would cover it.
Now, I'm gonna put something out here. I don't know if we can get all the horse owners on board, but I think, and I have to investigate it, Rhoda and I have been looking into where the individuals insure their own horse for liability, and you can name the POA as an additional insurer.
Yeah.
But That way if something happens, the horse gets loose, gets hit by a car, and then whoever has the car sues the horse owner and wants to mention the subdivision.
Yeah, we'll be sued too. We discussed that with the attorney also.
So,
Yeah.
there is a way to get a policy, but the individual can get that through their homeowner's insurance.
I mean, he don't think that we would end up being liable, but we'd still have to pay the we wouldn't even have the $5,000 deductible. We'd have to pay the attorney.
Right, but other than
It costs us
that, I was
whatever.
just wondering, what was the liability that y'all were all of a sudden worried about with, I mean, I've been up there since 2009. Rhoda, Doris, we're all, we don't even
Yeah.
ride.
It only takes once.
I know, but I'm just saying, and I was just kind of wondering all of a sudden, I don't know if it was because what was going on social media, but
It's all part
I
of it.
think we all should kind of like not jump things, we can keep researching, but anybody.
Yeah, but we're probably going to table it today because we're going to check out all that information.
That's, the idea with the insurance, that was a good idea, 'cause I know there's a lot of companies that, let's say their property manager or what have you, has to take a deposit to the bank. They require that property manager to insure also the company, so if they're in an accident and that money disappears,
Right.
that it's covered.
Well, I was a commercial property manager and leasing agent, and when they had a tenant move in, they had to get a certificate of insurance liability
Right.
for themselves if someone got hurt. But then it was a known that you just also had additional insured, was the lender.
Right.
Lynn done some stuff on it. I don't know if she wanted to talk about it now or wait until we got back on it next
I
month.
haven't got all the information together, but what I was thinking about insurance is that, it's not only just the horse, if someone's on the property and they get hurt or something.
Yeah, they have a guest,
I
visitor.
mean,
Well, I mean, we
All-
signed a disclosure on the annual lease, whereas we don't ask people to sign a disclosure when they come to the pool.
Yeah,
Do you?
that signing sheet has a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
say
flavor
you
on
can
it.
spiff it up a little bit, but I mean, all of a sudden, whatever you need, if ask the attorney to make the language a little stricter.
Yeah.
I mean, we post that up at the barn that equine activities are a dangerous sport.
you
And
you have a sign of
It's
it?
a Texas regulated sign.
You know what? It may be down now. Did
Well, I
y'all
don't
get that sign
know
back
if
up?
y'all
Yeah, I
know
see it's
if
up there.
It's down,
they took it down after they
Is it?
painted.
yeah, it's,
Put it
it's
back up, please.
It's like the hair dryer manufacturers having to put a sticker on that says don't use in the
Yeah, I
shower.
mean, we should get that back up.
And you still get sued.
Right.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
if I
it's
can,
because people have sued.
Yeah, and the thing
that
is,
covers
we're
them.
sued, it's $5,000, which we do not.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be a deductible. We'd have to pay for whatever attorney we got sued
Right.
because we're not insured. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
No, we go ahead.
he was wanting to say something about that.
well, I was just gonna add, I mean, in today's world, you can sue over anything with any kind of protection you have over yourself.
Right, but let's see, if we get sued for something that happened here, say you fell out there, we got sued, we have a $5,000 deductible to pay, but after that, we're covered. It's the difference between going bankrupt, paying for an attorney. I learned this years ago, back in the 90s, short store, trying to make as short as I can. I was shopping at 3 o'clock in the morning. Young lady left in front of me. As she left, she got pulled into a van. Her groceries were still sitting in the basket. I tried to follow them out. By the time they made it to the freeway turn, well, she got raped for 6 hours and left him 8:30, and he said he'd see her again, injected with drugs, all kinds of stuff. But the gist of it was, I got subpoenaed a few months later as a witness. They had sued the management company, they sued the parking lot people, they sued the light company that was taking care of the lights, there's 2 lights out, they sued Kroger's, and most of those people settled out. She ended up like $80 million. I ended up having to go to court and testify in court with Kroger's on the lawsuit. So,
well, as Karen was saying, you can beef up what it says on the lease to
Yeah.
make you not liable. And
right, that's
also,
something we're gonna look at doing.
like the people that I hog hunt with, he actually has a release form for everybody that comes with him. So if they get hurt,
Because we hunt on,
yeah, so we
Yeah.
hunt on
Yeah.
Harris County.
And that's great, because
Yeah.
in court, that's where that comes up.
Yeah,
But the problem is before that, he'll still get sued if something happens. And that means he has to hire an attorney. But, and just like we would. So that's the reason we're looking into liability insurance. Who knows what's gonna happen, we'll go from there. Lynn's been checking into all that. She's talked to a bunch of the other stables. She's talked to several people. We've been searching for the insurance. Karen says she's gonna start looking for some of the insurance too.
yeah.
Sandra,
All the big commercial stables that I have boarded at in the past, where it's $500-600 $100 a month to board. Typically, it's in the board, but that is a commercial facility.
Yeah, that's part of the reason it's so high, is
Yeah.
because of the liability.
That's a commercial boarding
Right.
facility, where they have people coming in and out, they're going to
Exactly.
shows.
Once you get into homeowners, it's a lot more difficult, and a lot of homeowners, they don't cover that. They don't have dog insurance, they don't have horse insurance, they don't have anything like that. So,
I was gonna read the message from our insurance agent.
That was my next question, is who handles our insurance?
Souls,
Who is it?
Souls Insurance.
And they shop it, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they should shop it. We were paying, that's
Soul man?
Yes.
SOULAS, Sandra is our agent. For years, we were with them since they had been with them for the early 80s. We got to where we were paying more than half our annual budget on liability or general liability and regular insurance, $23,000 a year. Souls 2 years ago, Mr. Gordon Lamont, he owns 8 or 9 homes here in South. That's who he was dealing with. He helped me, and we went to her, and we're doing about 12 or 13 now, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we have all these other facilities that are covered now. Those aren't. They wouldn't cover them.
Is there a possibility, I could get a copy of the insurance policy?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I don't mind helping and shopping around for that too, and just letting people know what we really need. You know,
Bear with me just a second.
She basically said she couldn't find anyone she couldn't find anyone to help us.
Yeah, she said she had one more underwriter she's
One
going to
more
try,
person that was
but she
out of
couldn't
town.
find anybody. Here it is. Rodney, I've had no luck getting coverage on this structure for you. No one I have access to wants to cover liability for saddle animals. I can't find anyone willing to do the property because of the aging condition. We're not really worried about that, and I told her that, of the building. I have one more underwriter who is out of town at the moment, but said she would see what she could do for me. However, I have not heard back from her. If I do, I will let you know. So that's what we got. She's been checking for a couple of weeks now. So we're going to table those issues, all the issues for the barn for now, and pick them back up next month. Hopefully we'll have a lot more information.
I also looked up about the fencing laws. I didn't see anything on the forms that I saw from the state regarding barbed wire and horses. They just say that the way that the fencing needs to be, mostly I think to protect cattle and animals to getting on the roads. So basically they're talking about how many strings and how much space in between them with the T-posts.
Yeah.
I did not see anything about horses.
I sent a link to him, I called the
Yeah.
extension center. She sent me a link and I forwarded it to him about that.
Yeah,
But
there's
she
no
said
laws against
There
it.
is no laws against it.
Yeah, if we can just get on the front line, the top strand of barbed wire has been spliced so many times, it's pulled
It
apart.
needs to be totally.
there's
If
like
different.
Cisco can run a smooth wire and then get that charger back up, I can get the
Yeah,
electric.
we'll check into it. If you want to ask him what he'll charge,
If
we'll
we'll do
take
it
it.
in a day, I don't have a pummel iron anymore to do all that.
Question. I have a horse in the barn, and I want to have another horse in the barn, but I've been told that I can't right now.
We're not accepting leases till the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
pending on what's going on with the barn, and trying to figure out what we're doing.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't
there's no-
understand why we're not.
Because there's a possibility, if we end up closing the barn down, we don't want to accept a new horse now, because it would probably be at the beginning of the year. That is-
Okay, so then closing the barn down is something that y'all are looking into.
Anything's a possibility. I hope we don't have to do any of it, but anything's a possibility.
Follow-up question. Why are we maintaining a giant field that is labeled as a golf course?
We're only cutting it every 2 weeks.
What I'm asking is, why are we looking at closing down something that is being used before we're talking about closing down something that
Cost
is...
and liability. Our attorney, we have to take the attorney's advice. If we don't, there's a list of issues we would liable for. We brought up a lot of issues, and those are some that he said that we need to take care of. A liability, something like that, if somebody, horse was to get out, it's a huge liability for you and us. So right now, we've got 2 months left on that year, so we had to write a two-month lease. So, the best thing to do is look at it the first year, hopefully get these issues solved.
So, it just seems to me, and maybe I don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that we're escaping liability by devaluing our neighborhood. Because, yes.
Actually, we would increase, when you
Well,
have a
hold on a
business,
second.
that's what we
Hold on a
are, as a
second. Hold on a
business.
second. We have nice amenities. I mean, let me rephrase it. We have the potential of nice amenities. Do we need an airport? I would say probably not. I just don't see anybody flying in these days. But we actually can have a nice golf course. We have a riding arena that's actually a very nice. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Red Oak Ranch, but our horse facility is better than Red Oak Ranch, and that's a neighborhood that, topples ours as far as value. So we have things that puts value in our property. It just seems like to me it would be worth coming up with a way to either afford it better or, I don't know. This is where I'm ignorant.
That's what we're trying to do.
But it seems like, just for me, I don't pay too much attention to all this. She pays attention a lot more than I do, but I just kind of look into it. It just seems like we're doing more to try to get rid of things and neglect things than it is to maintain things to keep our neighborhood worth something.
One thing is to look at it as a business is the first thing you have to look at is your income. We have approximately 240 members a year. Period. We take in $19 a month average on the lots. It comes to a little over $50,000 a year. When you spend $13,000 upon the insurance, you have your street lights, your electric, your water, everything. We have 4 meters. We've got a meter at the pool, a meter here. We've got one at the golf course and one at the barn. All of that is cost. In a business, you don't want to have liabilities, especially open-ended liabilities like the airport, the golf course, and the stables. I'd love to keep them all, but that's increased. You pay
I'm not
more
saying
for
keep them all.
Yeah, I understand, but what you are willing to get rid of, somebody else isn't.
Who is it willing to get
Airport
rid of the
guys,
airport?
they're just as much members as you are, but they don't want to get rid of the airport.
Who?
The 3 airport guys.
The three guys at the airport.
The 3 guys who are not paying their lease.
Exactly.
No, they pay their dues, but they don't pay their lease.
Okay,
So-
to me, somebody who's not paying what they're supposed to doesn't mean jack.
I understand that, but that's part of the issue, is what we're spending now far exceeds what we're making, because if we weren't doing collections on old dues, none of these buildings would be in the shape they are now. This building here you couldn't use before, all the seals were rotten, it didn't have flooring, it painted, didn't have an office. But for years now, there's been one person doing the collections. The golf course was shut down before I was actually on the board. They were spending $36,000 a year to keep just the golf course up. We're not talking about the rest of the amenities, just the golf course, and taking in, because they were letting outside members, which they're turning on, they shouldn't be doing, because that was another liability, taking in $26,000. So they were taking in $10,000 out of the general funds to keep just the golf course up. That wasn't feasible. She was the president, or the president at the time, right? She was paying bills from October for the golf course in April the following year. They were on the verge of bankruptcy if they didn't close it, stop maintenance on it.
Is the power still on in these places?
Yes, power's still not at the airport, but at the golf course. It's the barns over there.
At the golf course?
At the golf course, we have the
Water.
there's 2 restrooms there, but we don't use them.
Why do we need even water after
The
all?
water goes through to the barn.
The water from the golf course, the meter there serves the airport and the barn. There's not a meter at the barn.
We need to keep water if there was a fire or anything. There
Yeah,
should be
several,
water.
but also at the golf course is our sheds. We have both our sheds there that house the tractor and the zero turn and the rest of the equipment that we use.
So the water bill basically is just for here and for the barn?
Right, we have 2 meters.
Okay.
But they service the golf course, the airport, and then their lease,
Okay,
their top
the one that's at the golf course services those other amenities?
Right.
Okay. So we got one, two.
We're not watering the
We
golf
got 3 on
course,
one
right?
here, and then we have this one.
Let's-
on here.
And we don't use any water at the golf course. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, so we have the meter that services this, and then the meter that services this other.
Yeah, and see, that's a whole other story. That's one of the reasons they've gotten so expensive, is the people that were maintaining the golf course at the time also on the water board. When Lake Bonanza started water in '92, making the deal, it was supposed to be for Lake Bonanza. It's not just Lake Bonanza anymore. They service water, half Lake Congo, all the way up Pine Lake. a lot of old issues that we deal with now that not everybody knows because you're new members. And sometimes it feels like it's old because I've been president, was president for 5 years. The only reason I did it for an extra year was because everybody else refused. And the only way I did it then was if it was a unanimous vote. That's the only way I do it. If we waived that one bylaw, and it was unanimous vote, people in the room, I'd do it for 1 more year. I did. Nobody wanted to run for president. That's another thing that's come up on these next door neighborhood is about me being president. I would let right now, I'm vice president, serving as president. I don't want to do it, trust me, I've done it long enough. Nobody else wants to. Nobody else wants that liability. We've been sued. Through no fault of our own. But the gist of it is I got sidetracked off a little bit. There's a lot of issues, old issues, that still affect us today. Our insurance spent $83,000 defending the suit. The guy volunteered at the golf course. He wanted $10,000. So between them, they sued us for volunteering. You can sue somebody for anything. And it'll cost us $5,000.
Yeah, like I said, that's the advantage of being a corporation is none of the board members or.
You're going to say that shouldn't be sued?
They're not responsible.
Yeah, they messed up. The lady that was handling, the attorney was handling at the time, this actually started before I was on the board and kind of finished up the month after I got on, I think what it was. But they sued the officers individually and the corporation.
Yeah, that's.
So we had.
That's not allowed. I mean,
No,
that
exactly.
would be thrown out.
But at the time, we really should have hired our own attorney separately, just get that knocked off. But it didn't, our insurance, we don't get to hire the attorney. Insurance company hires the attorney. So anyway, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Has our attorney even seen our stable lease?
I don't know if we sent it out to them.
I'd like for him to
It was
see it
yeah.
and tell them that the horse owners are willing to sign a more beefed up agreement and look into personal liability on their animals.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't like I kind of hear like this is a knee-jerk reaction. That barn has been there since day one. It's been full many times. It's been full and had pasture horses. And now all of a sudden, because social media gets chatty, I just feel like this is a knee-jerk reaction. Whereas you've got horse owners that are willing to work with you and sign
Yeah, we
haven't
haven't said we want to close it. Nobody's asked for a vote to
I
close it.
kind of get this.
Right now, we're looking at people are bringing,
Right,
I understand. But when people bring those liabilities up, we have to
I
look at it.
understand, but we are willing as horse owners to work with you and insure our animals.
Yeah, but even at full, if we had every stable full, it's 8 people out of the subdivision, or 4 if they have 2 horses.
Yeah.
That's a lot of problems.
Well, I think they had 8 and then they had pasture horses at one time.
Yes, that was horrible.
But they were
Yes,
full
because we used to
overflowing.
have to feed your horse and then somebody would want to feed their horse and they didn't want to wait. So they put your horse out in the field and throw your hay out and the other horses would eat it.
Yeah, I did that for a long time. I took care of the deals. I was running it down. It got to be every week. Every time I worked down there, every time I had something done down there, somebody had an issue. It was doors, it was constant. It's bickering.
You know, if you had a barn manager that actually, came down there and did things, people are willing to pitch in and get round bales, if that were the case, and do all that. I've managed barns multiple times already.
There were people that didn't want.
And I would be totally willing to do it if you were like to sell the golf course and make it to where renters could board there. And, I've trained people,
But we
I've
can't
trained
let renters
horses.
board there.
But if we did it to get more money and actually get
That's what I'm
insurance.
saying, I understand that, but we would have to charge 10 times what we're charging if we ever let a renter use it, because then we're talking about more liability.
But that's fine. I mean, I know people that would be willing to pay it.
Yeah, because right now it says on our bylaws and new restrictions, only homeowners are allowed to use the amenities. And we tried, I think, one year in
Yes,
an
we
annual
did.
meeting to
Yes.
change it to renters, and it didn't happen.
Absolutely refused, no, there was probably 10 people that voted okay, the rest of them voted no, absolutely. We have, everything like that, we have to get passed by membership. There's some things we can change amenities, the board can do that.
How do we restructure
Restructure which part of it?
everything?
Good luck.
Yeah.
No.
You're talking about the deed restrictions, is what you mean by
You
restructure?
have to get
Here's what I'm saying.
67% of the
Here's what I'm saying.
people.
It sounds to me like we're bogged down by a lot of our own red tape from, as you said, problems from the past. Problems that it seems like we all want fixed, but we're stuck with can't do it, need lawyers, this and that, this and that. It sounds like instead of having a multiple year headache of trying to fix and mend, it sounds like maybe we have one giant battle of restructure it.
Which means new deed restrictions. When
We
you say restructure, that's
we
what
tried,
it's
they tried 1 year and they couldn't get enough.
They absolutely could not get enough. It's like coming to somebody that says,
You have to have.
from now on, like Walden,
Vote, right?
67% of all property owners have to agree.
Okay,
Right.
and have we ever gone door to door and asked?
Yes.
Just 2 months ago, he sent out votes for certain things that were on
I
here.
got that.
And
But nobody
only
ever knocked on the
what he said-
27 people replied.
And let me tell you something, I'm not one of them, because I won't respond to something like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
That's how we get
have
things
we-
changed. You don't have to agree with it,
but hold
but
on
you
a
should still vote.
second, can I finish?
I think they
If
tried
someone
to-
came up to
One
me,
person at a time.
if
One
someone,
person at a time.
I don't have, to me, yes, it's important to me, but am I gonna fill something out like that? No.
Then how would you ever get the deed
How would
Can I
restriction?
finish?
There wasn't enough information on that for us to make a decision on how to vote as we
If,
moved.
Okay.
if
somebody
somebody came.
Listen, one person at a time. I don't have to let
I'm
anybody
trying
speak
to
in mind. I'm
finish.
trying.
This is.
So one person at a time.
If somebody came to my door and said, hey, this is what we're doing, this is our intentions, do you say yes or no? I am 100% more likely to vote or to make a vote.
Are you willing to do that?
I just said I'm 100%.
Come do it.
The problem, and that's what.
2005.
Yeah, 2000, they had
Some
enough.
of the,
Hired an attorney, wrote
people
new deed
live in
restrictions.
Houston and all kinds of
Hold on,
places. They
everybody.
don't live here.
Go ahead, Lynn.
We just went to the attorneys. This was one of the things we talked about. We were gonna restructure, do this all, we were gonna work on this. This is like the end of the year, beginning of next year, project, because we've just got a lot of things going on right now. But we do know it's gonna take door to door. That's the only way it's gonna work. Absolutely the only way it's gonna work. But we have to have people that can help us, because we as a group, I mean, not everyone here can do that. So we do need people, and we will solicit people to help us, but I think that would be a good thing. If you're interested, we'll put your name down, because
I'm home almost all the time. All I do for a living is train horses and dogs, so I'm available most of the
And
time.
just keep in mind, you go door to door you want, but we have a lot of property owners that don't live in this subdivision.
That was my.
They have to
That's
agree.
the problem, they know, they're not here.
Yeah, because we let so many people buy property and then just
You
rent
don't
it
have a
out.
choice on who buys property.
Yes.
So do we have contact or some way to contact them?
Some of them we do,
Some of them we do, some of them we don't. I mean, it's
I'm
not
not
like,
saying that
they volunteer
restructuring
numbers.
the entire thing is going to be easy,
yeah.
oh, it's
but
not.
in the long run,
She says a yearly, it's probably a couple year project. This isn't, for one thing is what you don't understand, we have 4 sections. 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 on the same deed restrictions. We are regulating how and when we change those deed restrictions. We can do section 1 at one point. It was good for the first 10 years, you can't change them. Then 25 years after that on each one. So it's in the deed restrictions, the bottom of the deed restrictions tells you about that. So you can't just say, I'm gonna change the whole subdivision. If you do that, then you can probably hire an attorney to do that. He may be able to get it so we can do all 1 sections at one time, we file the paperwork, but you're talking minimum 10 grand.
wouldn't it be worth it though?
Who's going to, I thought you volunteered 10 grand for us?
No.
Okay, that's my point.
That's the problem.
We're talking about minimum.
That was a dumb question. Am I volunteering 10 grand by myself?
Exactly.
This is a community issue,
Right.
and this is something that we're dealing with years and years and years, and you just brought up the fact that we're dealing with problems from years and years and presidents ago.
But
We're
no one,
wasting money.
there have been people that don't have the wherewithal.
And
There've been years that was only 1 or 2 people on the board because no one was interested.
Right. And
Well, they
when
wanted to
they went
do the
door,
job, there's too much bickering that
Yeah.
will.
when they went door to door to people to ask them for the new deed
We have
restrictions,
towns that were building their own grave.
they literally looked at them like they were crazy, especially the people that own multiple properties.
Yeah.
Because if they're renting their properties, they don't want deed restrictions that are not going to apply to all their renters. So you have a huge issue there where I come to you and say, well, now I want you to put trash cans out more than one day. Walden does that.
I'm not saying.
You wouldn't sign it, would you?
Hold on. I'm not saying that we need to be the stupidest rules on the block. All I'm saying is, hello, sir, we're trying to restructure our board so we can do something.
Right, I understand what you're
That
saying.
seems pretty simple.
100%. But when you're going to want to change what you want to change. Now, what if Mr. Courtney wants to change something else? And he wants it added to the deed restrictions. So
Like,
then now you're going door to door, explaining each and every deed restriction you want changed. You might not want that one changed. The problem is getting people to agree to more restrictions on what someone moved out here because we only got a page and a half restrictions. You can't tell them the color of their house, the color of their roof. You don't have to submit this stuff to the board. We don't have an architectural committee that you have to submit first before it goes to a board. So it's hard. If there are volunteers willing to do that, I'm more than willing to help any way I can. But it's not something we're going to do at this meeting. One thing, it'll have to be done in an annual meeting, and we'll have to come up with the money, and I don't expect you to pay for it. But the point is if it's something that you want somebody else done, they're not going to volunteer to spend their money on it. So it's not as easy as saying, let's restructure, let's make new deed restrictions, because you have to hire attorneys, you have to have people willing to go door to door. And I had 20 people at last year's meeting, not this year, last year's meeting volunteered to be on the board. In the first meeting, I think 3 people showed up. So people can volunteer all day, but until they show up down here, I've got where half of it I don't listen to, because they don't come.
And most of the board here have sat on the board for a long time.
I've been here since 2012.
I mean,
Karen's been on and off since
it's
2009.
difficult to.
I
Lori
am not
would be
here
involved.
criticizing anybody on the board.
2011, so.
Yeah.
I am just trying to think of the fact that we have a nice area. We're sitting on a nice, Montgomery is not some slumdog
It's
area.
only getting bigger.
Exactly.
The woodlands are full.
I just think that it is the wrong idea to get rid of things that are
No,
being used.
I would, listen, if the airport guys were willing to do what they should have done in 2011 and 12 before I even got on the board, we wouldn't be talking about them.
Yeah.
Who would care? If they were cutting the airport, taking care of the airport, it would have been an asset. We could have come up with other ways to make revenue from it. But if we can't get insured and we have to worry about being sued at that's a liability. That's not a bonus. We have to be a business. What we're taking in right now, $19 a month. You pay more for your water, you pay more for your garbage, and then turn around and fuss at us about not taking care of the golf course. So it's not possible with what we're taking in.
Well, I mean, first thing, we don't want people coming to Montgomery, the rumor getting out there, well, you don't want to go to Bonanza because it looks like a ghetto.
No, nobody wants that.
But-
And, we have ways of enforcing things in our deed restrictions and things like that to get folks to clean up their properties, that sort of thing.
Okay, which neighbors, hold on, you can come tell me somebody got 4 cars in the yard, or they've got their house falling down. It's not in the deed restrictions.
It says you can't use your property as a dumping ground.
It says you can't have rubbish. Well, listen, we've been through this. You
This
can't
is-
fill up with rubbish, which means trash.
Right, I've been driving around the neighborhoods, I see trash. I mean, there's a house, at the corner that's got garbage sacks stacked up.
I know what you're talking about.
I mean,
Right.
it's-
That's a deed restriction violation. Absolutely.
Now, is that a property owner or is that a renter?
Right,
That's
that's the frustrating part.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
I understand. The thing is her mom owns the house. We definitely will send them a 209 violation letter, okay?
Well, but
We
that
have
has
to
to
do
go to
that.
the property owner, not the renter, right?
Right, we send it to the owner, not the renter.
Right.
And here, right. So then we have to allow them time to comply or come before the board. If that doesn't work, then we have to hire an attorney.
Why?
Because
In the rules.
Because
by the state law.
Yeah, that's.
We have to make
Yeah,
the
but-
effort.
If also we have other remedies that we can do, we could put a lien on that property.
No.
No, we don't.
Can't do it.
Where you see, hold on, everybody stop, you may have seen something I missed. Where are the deed restrictions that say we can lien?
We know.
It says other remedies as necessary. That leaves
Legal,
a pretty big window right there.
Well,
And it doesn't cost an attorney to go do that, you just go right down to the county clerk's office,
we can't
and
follow.
you can put a lien on somebody's property if they owe you money. And the thing
We
is,
can't. I'm sorry, me and Karen sit down with Daltrey and Jordan, which are the same attorneys for Walden and April Sound. Chris is his name. We went through this. We had, what was the other attorney's name before that?
Yeah.
He'd come to the annual meeting, and to file a legitimate lien, we would have to go up to
You have to get a writ
$10,000.
of judgment or something. You
Yeah,
have to go to
it's-
the court and then get a writ of.
Get a writ of judgment, then you have,
And
it's
maybe-
not just, we as a board,
It's not
for our deed restrictions, can't, it's still like a mechanic's lien, or property that you worked on and you file a lien on. We can't do that.
but
It has,
you can file it as a theft of services.
It's, you have to follow it. If you,
But we're not an HOA, we're a POA.
that's the same thing.
Well,
Under the
it's
laws.
not exactly the same,
Okay.
but.
Under the 209 laws, which is the laws we have to follow by the state, have you read through those?
Yes.
Okay, we have to follow those. We've been through this. Otherwise, if somebody turns around and sues us, then we have to have that follow. We're in a very difficult position. If anybody wants to do this and they think they do a better job, please.
I'll find out, for
Please do.
sure.
Yeah,
I have, I have many attorneys in my family.
yeah, please.
And
Any HOA attorneys?
They all handle property.
Yeah, because all of our attorneys we've had, even our present one, says we have to follow the same laws as the HOA laws. There's not a separate POA set of laws.
Now,
Only one.
with that being said, I know that a lot of HOAs, instead of trying to handle everything themselves, they have a management company that handles their HOA.
That costs money.
Do we,
I know it costs money, but in the long run, because they're so tight on the money, you're actually making money on the back end rather than losing money.
When
Because
they
if
do
they can't make money,
Right.
and they will take responsibility
right,
for the lawsuits, they will take responsibility for.
maintenance, they take care of the grass, but when you're talking about saving money, they don't take bids on the grass, they have companies they use. And we've taken bids for cutting just the grass that we cut now, and we're talking $3 grand a month.
But as a company, if they don't turn a profit and they don't keep us running, then they're, what's the point of that?
It's the same thing that Lake Conroe,
Because they're not gonna run us out of business.
that's Lake Conroe Village, they had a management company, they went bankrupt.
Well,
I
Look
looked
at
for
it.
it looks like the deed
before you
restrictions
were on
are
the
not
road.
being followed very well.
We're talking,
I couldn't find one.
listen, if you wanna take bids, listen, Mr. Gordon, please, I've been through a lot of this, and you're not gonna believe me until you do it yourself, so please go
I've
find
been
it.
through it too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, in the positions that I've had to get, 3 to 7 major bids on everything. But, there's a lot of things that we could do. I mean, even let professional services handle things.
Listen, whatever info you need from me, take these bids, and if we can fit that in the budget, I'm more glad to do it. I know what we spend on lawn care a year is about 1/10 of what they did before.
Okay.
So if you can find somebody to do it for that price, I would have
It's not the lawn care, it's gonna be everything. I'm gonna go through everything, because it's gonna be, our insurance company, getting bids on that. Taking care of the maintenance around the area.
Please
Taking
do.
care of the pool.
Yeah, whatever you need from me, let me
I
know.
don't know, for instance, the pool,
You know what we're saying?
I saw the cracks and stuff in it, and it's a liability. I mean, if the insurance company was come out and look
They've
at
been
it now.
They made me put up lifeguard signs. They looked at all.
Not the lifeguard signs, but I'm talking about the liabilities of that concrete doing this, that, and the other. I mean, we got little kids running around here that's gonna smack a face or an older adult possibly, break an arm or a hip.
Right, so you're talking about the same issues we're talking about, the place we're not in.
Exactly, and so that stuff has to be repaired.
Yeah, they send us-
In order to get our insurance levels.
Yeah, if you can get our insurance cheaper than we're doing, please do.
Yeah, well, it's gonna take some work, it's gonna take
Exactly.
some work in this community.
I spent probably about 70 hours a few years ago, Glenda was with me, meeting insurance companies here. We
Right.
met with probably not every company, but probably 8 different companies. 3 or 4 of them come out with a package. We were talking, at the time, we were paying 23. They were willing to charge us 30 and 33. So, and that's, you're talking about 3/4 of your budget, just with insurance.
Right, well, the point being is that this is a community, it has to be community run, it has to be community led. The board is here to keep things on track and to enforce things that they can enforce and do the things they have to do, but we have to work together as a community. If we want Lake Bonanza to be the place that it was dreamed to be many, many years ago when it first started, we have to work together as a community. Even if it means, okay, your neighbor down the street here, they've got stuff that they can't handle as far as their grass or the stuff in their yards, they just don't know what to do with it, they're overwhelmed. We have to be able to get together, approach that person and say, hey,
That would be wonderful.
do you need help?
I mean, but you look at how many people's here out of the
Yeah,
members.
that doesn't go anywhere.
And there's months where we don't have anybody here. There was a,
What authority do we have?
hold on a second, I don't think Mr. Courtney's through it. There was times it was me and Glenda, that we didn't have a secretary, other people have lives, they can't make it, or something comes up, or somebody's sick.
Yeah, that's a pretty good turnout.
Yeah,
Actually,
so if you
say
can go away,
room
that
every
you
time.
can get some of these people off their butts. James has tried, he has gone back, her husband. I had tried, we've had community events where we tried to get people, everybody promised
in your situation, do you need help from the community to help you do things? There's pride in yourself, but there's also a time when people need to understand you have to ask for help.
Yeah.
You have to ask for help, get the, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't mind asking for people, in 2015, I had a heart and kidney transplant, so I'm not,
I had kidney removed in 2012.
yeah.
Diagnosed with metastatic renal carcinoma.
Yeah.
I had a right kidney removed on Indiana.
But, with that being said, there's a lot that I can do, but there's some things that I can't do. Physically, there's some things that I can't do anymore.
I understand.
But there's nothing wrong with this up here.
Yeah. No, listen, if you want to take bids on anything, come down here and meet me one day, or meet one of the ladies, or Lynn. We'll give you whatever information that we're spending right now, and you can take bids from there. I don't mind. If you can find something cheaper, I'm all
We
for it.
need all the help we can get.
Absolutely.
And it's great, the way you talk, that's the ultimate.
James, I think James said almost the same thing.
Yeah, that's the ideal, but, when you go to some of the annual meetings you've been to, people are out there and they're yelling, yeah, we're gonna help, and
They
and
never
they
show.
know,
Nobody shows up.
yeah, and then that's the last I give them until maybe the next year, and they do the same thing.
Yeah, and you're new here, so you're ready to go. I was too. And it's kind of down when people often come up and they never show up.
I've been paying attention and kind of watching the things that's going on, and I've been watching next door, and I've been seeing the correction complaints, and all this stuff going on, and
Yeah, it's like,
it's frustrating. First thing to me was, I hope folks realize that when they're putting this,
our business everywhere, all of
it's
it.
going to a lot of people, unless you specifically choose on there to send your message
Just to-
Lake Bonanza property owners only.
Yeah, because then you're affecting your own property values too.
Right. Well, of course.
And that's silly, but it is what it is. Did you want to say something?
I just want to say, I moved here in 2008, bought a foreclosure, it was right in the middle of the housing crisis.
Right.
I want to say right now that this subdivision looks better now than it ever.
Your property values are more now than they've ever been. Ever.
It was
Yes.
really bad. Everything was overgrown, the POA wasn't taking care of things.
I got pictures.
We have, unfortunately, we do have some slumlord they came in and scooped up a lot of foreclosures, but hopefully now that they're seeing the rents increasing in values, they're gonna get a better quality renter in here. And now people are paying way more for homes, so they're looking around and they wanna see the places being kept up because they got a big mortgage payment.
Yeah.
The homes are selling for 160 in here now.
170.
And
We got one now. It's 210.
And even hopefully now the ones that are older and decrepit, their taxes are skyrocketing. They're starting to hopefully to think about improving their homes, or they're gonna settle because they're getting mad at paying those taxes.
Yeah, taxes went up
Hopefully
6
it's gonna
times.
improve your
Like I said,
But
there's
going
times
on that
I drive through the neighborhood and I hear Jeff Foxworthy in my ear.
Yeah.
Going on that
Might be a
point,
redneck if.
do we have, or the board, have any kind of enforcement authority?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
With the deed restrictions.
right.
That's where our authority lies.
So
You can't come and say, I got a pit bull over here I don't like.
I'm not saying,
I'm just saying, I get those calls all the time, every day. I can't do anything about that call, animal control.
I'm not
You know what I'm
saying,
saying? I understand.
what I'm saying is this, dogs are a totally different issue.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yes, but, I know that this is not a board like any other board, but when houses do look like you're surprised somebody's living in it.
We have to call the county, you can call the
Call the
county.
county.
That's what I'm, that's
But,
what I'm.
we can't do it.
So as long as they're paid up in their dues, you can't do anything.
We can't. Nothing in our
We
agreement.
did call the county in 1 year and they
Three
demolished.
houses
No, I thought it was even more.
Well, they originally owned it 4, but
They demolished a couple of decrepit homes,
Yeah.
but we have to get with the county and petition for them.
And they have to have money in their bank program to do it.
And they came out and tore down a couple of derelict homes.
Well,
And then they leaned the land for the
Yeah.
demo.
And they've been resold, all those lots that have been
And
resold.
those lots
Oh,
were
except for
sold.
one, I'm
But
sorry.
they were vacant, right?
Huh?
Yeah, they were vacant.
Yeah, but you can, and you as a homeowner, you can call the county, my neighbor, I'm not
Richard, because I left him a couple messages. They volunteered to take care of that, machinery and stuff, we bought the stuff, so I think we might have to look at other ways to take care of it.
Is there a plan for how to repair that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, our plan is to repair it for now, and then get an engineer to draw some new plans to make it a spillway. That's the plan.
So we're just gonna bolster it for now until
Yeah.
we can get that plan in
Yeah,
place.
and the
obviously.
county's, if you notice that one part on this side of the lake, the county has been bringing this dirt, when they're in the area. So, we'll probably end up, we're still gonna have to get gravel and culverts and stuff like that, because we're gonna end up doing the sides even before we do the center, so we have some place to go, where to go temporarily.
Do we have to buy the gravel or will that?
Probably,
apply?
the crushed concrete.
Yeah.
That's the, yeah, I was hoping we'd get something in the county, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's the dam issues. We went over the airport. Do the dam, do the barn, which is going to be tabled to next month. The attorney, we discussed that. The Susan Perry variance, she's not here. Paperwork's in the office if y'all want to go look over it.
When will she be returning? Next,
Spring, probably. She goes for the whole winter.
oh, okay.
So she was hoping we'd just call her by phone, but you know, that can be a whole nother issue. So I think she needs to be here because it's difficult. There's actually not a variance, there's like 4 variances. She's on the golf course, she's run to the property line on one side, she has a second home that's in a garage that they got a home in and she rents. That's actually on the front side of the 20-foot barrier. She's on the 5-foot side on one, 20-foot side on the other. So.
I think if she's here, we can ask her questions.
Right. And we have the number 4, which is the added status. You submitted a letter from the discussing the approval of the terms. We spoke with him a little bit about that too.
What is that?
Your 209 violation that we're going to send out to you.
What 209 violation?
For the tiny home you have on your property.
It's not a tiny home, it is a storage building.
We're not going to discuss that. If we do, we'll go into.
If you're sending me a violation, I need to know what it's for.
That's what it's for.
It's not a tiny home.
Okay,
Where did you get that information?
from your neighbors and.
How do they know? They've not been inside the building and it's
Are
a
you?
storage building, which I will.
Do you mind if one of the ladies come look inside?
There's nobody living in that. It is.
I didn't say there was nobody living.
It's intended for storage of
We-
my items and nobody will be living in that building.
Do you mind if one of the ladies come by and look at it?
Why? I don't
Because
care that
your
there's
Facebook
nobody living in that building, nor will there
Did
be.
you have it up for sale recently?
I had it up for sale in Alvin, Texas.
Right.
I moved it here, and if I ever use it, it will be as a guest house, but for right now, it's gonna be a storage building
Can't be.
for
Can't
a
be
long
on property.
term, and I,
One
look,
home
it's not livable.
Listen, I'm not going to argue with you today. It is what
If
it
you're
is.
gonna cite me a violation, we're
Absolutely.
gonna discuss it.
You will have to call, you will have to make an appointment. You will have to put it on the agenda. for you to
But you
discuss.
cite a violation inappropriately. There is no violation.
It's a tiny home. There's one home per home site.
It's not a home.
Is
It's
it?
a storage building. It will be a storage building for me. It's not established as a
You
home
are
on this
selling
property.
it as a tiny home with pictures. The pictures show it's a full house.
That was in another
Kitchen,
site.
bathroom.
Any building can be
Told
converted
your
for other
neighbors that you're going to let
purposes.
your kids stay, and you just stated that at some point you're going to do that. So that means it's a violation. I don't want to argue
No,
about it.
it's not established as a dwelling place.
I'm just telling you what you know the restriction. You know.
It's another form of harassment from you, Rodney. I'll talk to the attorney.
Okay. Please do.
I will.
So anyway,
Location to the center.
I'm sorry.
The location.
Yeah, it's too close to one side. but-
No, sir, it's 5 feet 4 inches from the property line according to my survey.
Okay. So anyway, if we want to approve for the attorney to send a letter after she receives the 209 violation letter, I need a motion.
You'll get another
Second.
lawsuit for which
Excuse me,
you'll
ma'am.
have to pay $5,000. Is that where you're
That's
gonna go? Because that's where we're gonna go.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, get your letter first, and then,
Yeah, we can
then
go
if
from
you don't agree with it, we'll
Then you can
talk.
come before the
Let's
board.
talk.
I already don't agree with it. I already know I'm not in violation.
Okay.
A violation has
All
no-
right, we're done with that. No, please, no more interruptions.
I
before
just
we-
wish you would be
Thank
more
you.
rational.
I offered to let one of the ladies come there and sit at the storage.
It's
pictures online are available right
I
here.
told no neighbors it was gonna be for my kids.
I'm
I
just
don't know
telling you,
where y'all got
you just got to saying it. But the gist of it is I need a motion for a second and then a vote.
I'm making a motion.
Linda's making a motion, Lynn's seconding, and then a vote. Karen? Yea or nay?
Oh, sorry.
Pay attention.
Unanimous.
But this is just to send the letter out and then give her a chance to respond.
No,
and
we have the letter, we're sending to her. She'll have a chance to respond in front of the board within 30 days.
And then we can decide if she's
This-
not bringing water and septic to it, it's not illegal. I don't know, that's
It's
where.
not, does not have water or septic
It
connected.
doesn't,
It doesn't even have
say nothing
electric
about
connected
it.
to it.
It clearly says any home has
I've
to
got
have
a
at least.
fan to keep mildew out, that's it, and that's on an extension cord.
So, all right. The only other thing we need to vote on is adjournment. Was there something you want to say before we adjourn?
Yes, and I'm curious, I need to know how you are finding or citing her or anything. Hold on. For just having, on plain sight, a building on her property. I need to know how you are coming with the fact that with the idea that she's renting or using it or anything like that, especially if it doesn't have any hookup.
Our deed restrictions clearly say one home per home site.
Here you go, you're right.
It seems like it's
Hold
all
on,
he
hold on.
say, she say.
Hold on.
If it was just a storage room, if she clearly could let one of these ladies, anybody, I didn't
But she
care.
has no requirement to
That's-
do so.
Listen,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you can't have two homes on the same
I
lot.
agree with you.
That is a
That's
deed
a
restriction
storage.
violation. Listen, if you had a dry toilet in your house, one of those that's burning, that doesn't allow you to have 4 homes on it. Listen, you get into a really bad area at that point. If I have 10 of those on my street, what are you gonna do if we don't violate her?
I am not saying that, and I agree with you that you can't have it, and I follow that. Trust me, I got a big enough yard, I don't want to put another one, but I don't.
Oh, if you put it on a separate lot with the requirements for the septic system, that's legal.
But
Can't have
that's
the
not
same
my
one.
question. About, what I'm saying is, I agree with you. My question is, and my concern is how you're getting to the fact, how are you getting to the conclusion that it is not a storage? Because what she said is correct. You know, anything could be considered a living space. She is saying that it's a building that was put down there, that it's just a building, it's her property, she's putting it there for now. There's no one living in it, there's no even hookups. What I'm asking is, how did the board come to the conclusion that it is in violation of 2 dwellings?
For one, when I went down to measurement, there's a lot of other legal issues I can't go into right now. But the one issue was it was too close to the property line. The gentleman that she had come down and measure it from the property line said it was 4 foot some odd inches. That was part of the issue to start with. But when he told me that she was going to have her children stay in it on vacations and stuff like that, that makes it a second home.
Now, let me stop it there. That is a problem. Because you can't go off of somebody saying she's going to make that.
We didn't have to. Not only that, she had it for sale. I saw it on the for sale
That
site.
was years ago, when I
It
was
was-
not going
okay,
to move
listen,
it.
we're
and
not gonna
I
argue
couldn't
this
sell
issue.
it.
We're-
The
So
reason I am upset about
Well,
this is because
Yeah.
the reason I'm talking about this is because I don't want a situation, you know.
If you have somebody living in a storage room,
There's
If
no
it-
one living in
listen,
it.
But what I am getting to is I don't want a situation, say I put a building on my property, I'm not putting anybody in it. I don't want an angry neighbor, trust me, I got plenty of them, to say someone's living in that, and then I get a notification. I'll be furious. It sounds, other than if it's too close, I'm not saying that, but it sounds like it is a hearsay and you can't do anything.
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
We need
adjourn
to-
and then I'll talk to you in the
No,
office and show you.
We need to do something before we adjourn.
What's that?
We had something on the agenda from last month that we were supposed to vote on,
I'm sorry, what was that? I apologize. I missed something.
about riding on the golf course and different things. Remember?
You know what? Nobody put that on the agenda. Nobody told me. I asked everybody to chime in.
I didn't know there was still there.
Yeah.
Well, because
I remember she asked me last month.
Yeah, but you said that at the end of the meeting we were supposed to do it.
Yeah, but I sent a message out to everybody.
That letter
I can't remember all that, guys. But this is gonna be something Melanie's gonna be handling. And y'all need to make sure to let her know, especially if she texts y'all.
Yeah,
So, and that's something that's gonna be next month for sure.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question? How much is it gonna cost for us to have that attorney send that letter?
We'll find out.
No.
It's $250 is what he charges us for the letter.
Okay,
Well,
250 for the letter.
It may be a little more.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he told us 250. It'll be in that ballpark, and if we want, we can add, a higher range of maybe 350, it's up to y'all.
What is this for?
For the letter,
Usually a letter that he sends, the letters are like around 300,
yeah,
just general.
he said between 250 and 300.
For letters.
So, but I can get with the board when we get an actual amount, and, if somebody needs to go, they can let us know. But, we can do it electronically as long as it's unanimous.
Okay, so the legal fees, when I see these on the reports, there's some months that have none and some that have.
Yeah.
It's because he's handling things and we're paying him as
As we go, the way we were before with, Dr. and Jordan is we had monthly fees, straight out.
Retainer, basically.
Basically, yeah, he charges for everything, even advice. We were spending $2 and $3 grand a month, which was killing us, so we had to stop that.
So we go and need it.
Yeah, we don't have to. I hope we never have to, we do sometime. Okay, I need an adjournment, I need a first and a second, and a vote. Yeah, and then,
Second.
Lord, and then, vote. All right.
I do have a question. The motions and things, is that restricted only to the board or can?
No, these
This
are
is
board
a
meetings, these aren't members' meetings. I allow the members to speak, but these are strictly board meetings. I hope all of them.
Is this an executive board meeting or?
No, this is just a regular board meeting, and at the board meetings, it's just for the board. We have annual members' meetings once a year. Members are always welcome, they didn't used to be, you get put out if they didn't like you. I got kicked out a couple of times because I had a camera with me. One time I came to pay the dues and checked my pocket, and they put me out. Karen was at that meeting.
Yeah,
So,
I was there too.
Yeah,
it was fun.
that's been a lot.
There's a lot of screaming and yelling.
2010, yeah, they did not want me there.
Yeah. Rodney, I have a
So when
question.
there is a vote, it's, when there's a vote at the board meeting, only the board.
That's
the board.
So as a member of the POA, I don't have.
You don't have a vote at the board meetings.
Not at the board.
It's just like they talk about,
We have special meetings sometimes.
there's, just like the elections, if you go out, if your term's up on anybody but the president, you had to have previously served on the board to be president. I'm sure you read
On
that.
this, you have to previously serve on.
On the board.
On a board or?
No,
This board, on
You had
this
to
board.
previously serve as a board member for Bonanza. And if the term is up, the only way to re-elect the president is by membership. It has to be the membership, at whichever the membership is up, it has to be re-elected. So we could call a special meeting for that, if somebody wants to do it, and we have to be noticed by law, and then otherwise, if somebody wants to run, we'll let them.
And the vote only counts for those that are present, plus the votes that come in electronically by fax.
Yeah, we offered everything this year. We offered by phone, we offered by email, we offered by website, and you could go drop it in the box or mail it. We did everything we could to try to get it,
And only 27 out of 200 and
Oh
plus.
my God.
27 people were the only people who voted. If you
I'd
don't, you know.
like to say something, we send out the ballots and you say you would respond to something and you didn't get enough information. If you don't get enough information, call us.
Hey, Raymond,
We'll explain anything you
Yeah.
want.
you said there's a water over there, baby, I'm thirsty.
There's other ways to respond, you can come to the meeting.
The reason I brought that up is just because I know that I'm not alone when people have 1,001 things going on. A board, anything is going to be the last on that list.
Right.
Even if they feel passionate about something, a board, anything is going to be last on their list. And that's why I brought it up. If someone comes, and I know it's a big issue, I know it's a big effort, but you'll get, I think, more voice or votes or whatever you need if you were to do that. Of course, I would say only do that with some big issue like restructure.
But like you're talking about, the one time we send it out, it's one time only a year for the annual
because there's a huge
Because
cost
if
in
it
that
comes
too.
to any meeting, that's the meeting you need to go
Well,
to.
speaking of costs, do I pay for, the golf course?
You don't pay for any specific amenity. You pay your dues, which go to whatever the board decides they need to go to.
You're saying about, right now it's being mowed, so there's the labor, we own the track.
Right, but, I noticed that there was a chain put up on that golf course.
Yeah, because we had somebody drop a stolen trailer off in there.
Drop the what?
Stolen trailer.
Trailer.
We busted all the lights out.
Oh,
So I don't believe access
and
to.
that's why I wanted to clarify, because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't somebody trying to keep me out. Not that I wanna go in.
You're welcome to
If
use that
someone
anytime
says
you want.
not to go in, now I wanna go in because I'm making.
It's also on a combination law. So if a property owner wants to call,
Okay,
just holler.
I just wanted to clarify that, that's all.
Just close it behind us so we don't have any more busted lights.
Yeah, no
They got in the
problem.
bathrooms, even though the bathroom, has a big gate on it, we had locked it. And they got the bathroom, busted lights at the bathroom, they busted the fluorescent lights outside.
I just wanted to
Right
clarify.
into the shed, right?
People were
What?
shooting out.
Yeah, they cut part of it where the zero turn.
They messed
Wow.
up.
On a horse?
On the golf course.
Of course.
Let's say.
Yeah, not on.
Shooting out.
Someone being a
Shooting off a
cowboy.
horse, that's kind of.
Oh, yeah, we had a guy out there shooting his, AR-15.
Use
Oh.
AR-15.
I'll show
Put up
you.
targets.
Well, it's.
Oh,
Gonna bring it back to
it's-
the-
it's a neighborhood,
Copy
you
it,
know,
that way you
that's a lot.
have-
No.
Yeah, I have some copies.
So I guess that's okay.
It can be.
Yeah, right.
Or,
That is, right. Huh?
I think it's one of those.
No, he doesn't know.
Yeah.